These are the plaintiffs, Jonathan and Jocelyn Fuentes. Jonathan says he and his wife rented what they now know was an illegal apartment from the defendant. And to make matters worse, it was infested with black mold. They were forced to move out as soon as they could to protect themselves and their 2 children. And because of the defendant's dishonesty, they're out $5,000, the amount they're suing for today. This is the defendant, Oreo Cordona. He says the plaintiffs have no case today. But hey, this is America, and you can sue for a ham sandwich if you want. Bottom line, he doesn't owe them $5,000. They moved because the city of New York changed the zoning laws in the building, which was part commercial and part residential. And he's sorry, but he will not be paying the plaintiffs a dime today. He's accused of lousy landlording.
All parties, please use your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiffs say the defendant rented him an apartment that was infested with mold. The defendant says if there was an irregularity, it's because New York City changed the zoning code. It's a case of golden moldies.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Jonathan Fuentes and Jocelyn Fuentes, you are suing your former landlord, Horizon Investors Corp., represented here by, are you an owner also?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, Aureo?
Good.
What should it be?
Audio.
Audio.
Or Oreo.
Usted es hispano.
Sí, claro.
How is it? Why is it not Aureo? All right. Audio Cardona, Executive Vice President, and your landlord. You're suing him for $5,000 for moving expenses, a security deposit that wasn't returned, loss of wages. But basically, you're really mad about this security deposit not being returned. Tell me what happened.
Basically, it was a long winter, so it was a lot of snow. A lot of stuff accumulated.
All right, so you folks move into, is it an apartment or a house?
It's an apartment.
Okay, and the apartment is owned by him. And
Correct.
You had a very bad winter, why?
Well, it was pools of water on the roof, and we had very bad leaks. And
Did you complain to your landlord about
absolutely.
the leaks? And were the leaks fixed?
No, they said they couldn't address it because it was dangerous conditions on the roof. They said it was ice and whatever.
So when the ice melted, did they address it?
They addressed it that spring. By that time, mold accumulated in the spring. And, we emailed them, we called them, we let them know, like, hey, we have 2 children here. We have 2 children.
And so were you seeing mold on the ceiling again? Do you have pictures of it?
Yeah. Actually, we have the video of it.
You have a video of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on, I have one here. I have this. I'll just show this. He has a video that's just on the spot. It could be a picture.
But it's
There's nothing happening. Oh, it's the leak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. You are right. I can actually see the dripping water. It took a minute.
You'll see the pot.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Is that a red Solo cup or a...
No, that's a pot that you boil your pasta in. And that first water line is the initial time where I dumped it.
Oh, man,
but
it's
starting
raining
to go
inside
back
the
up.
apartment.
Yeah.
All right, so at some point you get frustrated and you call the city.
Yeah, she reported to
And when you
311.
call the city, you report it and the city comes out and what happens?
So they came back to the apartment to make sure that all the damages were fixed. And
Well, had the repair been made?
It was
Yeah.
made within that same
But now
week.
we have a new problem. And the new problem is that, did you make 4 apartments out of 2?
We made 1 apartment out of 2 on each floor.
So when you bought the building, did you turn them into 2 on each floor for more money?
There were 2. They were already there.
They were already there.
Yes.
So it already had a zoning violation.
It wasn't a zoning violation.
It had to be because the problem the city had that made you make them 1 is that there was only 1 egress on each floor.
I can explain that.
Yeah.
That whole city block was torn down by the city of New York. So the only building left was that little building in the middle of that vast wasteland.
But how do the other buildings' existence means that there's a method of egress for both apartments on each floor?
You climb up, you go to the roof, and you go to the next building if there's a fire or a problem.
Oh, wait. That is rich. You expect people during a fire to climb up to where? Go where?
In the city of New York.
Jump from building to building like they were Superman?
In the city of New York, if you live next...
Okay, just stop,
Yeah.
all right? The bottom line is that the city said, what you got going on is
Yeah.
illegal, and they have to leave because you are not legally renting it out the way it is. And then, does anybody have the document given to you by the city?
I do.
Okay, let's see what both parties show me now.
That was the vacate order that was on our door.
Illegal apartment. Yeah, just look at that. All right, illegal apartment, 2 legal Class A apartments subdivided. It's not this fancy footwork about all the other buildings and jump from building to. It's a bottom line. It's the same thing that always happens, which is somebody wants to make more money. They put up a wall, but they can't do that without the city approving it because the city's going to require that there's a method of egress. That means an escape for the person who's trapped in a fire in the one side. Why? Because they could die. See? So yeah, illegal apartment. All right, but because it's an illegal apartment, you got told to vacate.
Correct.
All right, now are you on a month-to-month at this point?
Yes.
Okay, so you get told you have to leave because it's illegal on what day?
The 16th is when.
So you left on the
vacated.
16th. So they gave you how long? You gave you 7 days to leave?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much,
And
yeah.
where did you end up going on the 16th?
And they sent us to the YMCA downtown. And then after that, they put us into the system to start looking for one of those family centers.
Yeah, because they told us that once they paid the fines and made the repairs, they would have to contact us to tell us that we can move back into the apartment. So this was only
At
temporary.
the time, were you thinking you were going to move back into the apartment?
Yeah.
Yes, it's my apartment.
All right, so you're out of there and you're in another situation for how many months?
6 to 7 months.
All right, and then during that time, at some point, you call them to see if the repairs are done because you do want to move back in. That's home for you, and what happens?
No, what happened was that they contacted us to give
Who's
us
they?
our Isabel.
Isabel.
They're-
We have voicemails.
The defendant.
Yeah, we have
Okay,
voicemails.
contacted you to what?
To offer the 1,400, and they're like, oh, we need an address for you guys. So
Okay.
then we went to our social worker, and she said, you cannot accept any money from them because you will get kicked out of this program.
Good afternoon, Jonathan. This is Isabel. Please give me a call back when you get a chance. I need an address somewhere. Can I send you the security deposit?
Did you know Isabel had called them and offered them the security deposit back?
No, I wasn't.
When did you become aware of it?
Just now.
Well, that'll be interesting.
So
Who's
that's-
Isabel to you?
She's the accountant.
Oh, is she in for it when you get back? Because kind of a
Well,
little
I'll ask her
foolish.
what happened.
So if an apartment's illegal, can the tenant refuse to pay rent? If they're living there,
Yes.
so they can have a free ride.
I don't think they should, but yes, I think they can.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
So you contact Isabel by phone or by email?
By phone.
And you tell her, okay, we found a place, we need the...
I left a voicemail because they didn't pick up the phone.
Okay.
I said, hey, Isabel, we finally found a place. At
Okay.
this time, we signed the new
Send us
lease.
back our security.
I said yes. And then they sent me an email back and
Okay.
saying because of damages to the apartment and the
What
banister.
damages to the apartment? To the illegal apartment? How did they damage the illegal apartment?
There was a handrail.
A handrail.
A handrail to the...
The banister?
The banister
Okay.
to the-
So do you have an estimate for what the banister specifically costs?
We have an estimate of, I have something here to put it back, buy a new banister because it was cracked, and clean up a little bit. It was a little more expensive. We didn't use that one, about $2,000, something like that. But that's not the issue here for us today,
What is the issue? Why won't you give these people back their security deposit?
because they didn't pay their last month's rent.
So they catch you in noncompliance, but you want me to tell them that they owe you rent. No, you can't get rent for a noncompliant place. And you also can't get rent for a place that's unlivable because there's a pot with water. Did you see that video? That was pretty bad, okay? But the banister, you concede your moving guys ripped it out to be able to get your furniture in.
No, as they were going down with our
Well, they ripped it out. I don't
they
care.
ripped it out. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
good. Did you tell them, hey, you got to pay? Go sue them for reimbursing you what I'm going to order to be paid to him for the
Right, that's what I
banister. The
told them.
banister is, you can't damage stuff in your move. You understand that?
I understand.
All right.
Your Honor, I have a picture of the banister because they were making it seem like it was a fancy thing, the new one, because I would go back to check my mail.
It's like an 8-foot
It's
banister that you get from
plain
Lowe's for
wood,
$120.
I'm sorry. Do you have an estimate for it?
Well, we went to Lowe's.com and just put 8-foot
Yeah.
banister.
Do you have that?
Do we have
No.
a picture on it?
No.
No, we don't have it. That has internet if you want to
Everybody
check
just
it out.
stop. Don't talk. Oh my gosh, I found the actual banister. It has a very unique shape. This is the replaced banister.
That's the exact.
Okay, I see this exact banister for $64, plus the labor involved in putting it in. All right, now, why should he have to pay your moving expenses?
Because we weren't planning to move. This happened because of their negligence. And
Right,
then
but you could end up having to move with 30 days. You had no lease. It's not like you were in a lease and you wouldn't have had to move for another 3 years or a year.
No, but the Red Cross gave us 1 day, and they were like, you have 3 hours to move all your things. So we had to get on the phone, get moving people.
No, I know
and
it's a
everything.
hassle, but how does that translate to he has to pay you thousands of dollars in moving costs? If he felt like it, he could have just said, get out, you have 30 days. And you would have to pay thousands of dollars in moving costs. All right, now, I'm kind of with you on the loss of wages of the 2 days of all of the government brouhaha you had to go through because of the very short notice, and the short notice of you having to move out so quickly in 7 days was not your fault. But the actual moving expenses, you could have ended up incurring that at any moment. You were living on a month-to-month lease. All right, so here's what it boils down to. You're entitled, I'm going to deduct $150 for the banister from this total. You're entitled to the security deposit minus the $150. So that's $1,250 on the security deposit. I'm going to find that you're entitled to your loss of wages for 2 days because of the rush. That's $247.20. So that turns out to be $1,497.20. And I'm going to find that the defendant has to, in fact, pay you that amount, the $1,497.20, plus, of course, your court costs and prejudgment interest since the time that you asked for the security back. All right. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
All right, both sides, hold on.
Well, the plaintiffs do prevail in this lawsuit. Mr. Cardona, did not turn out too well for you. You came in here saying you were not going to be paying them a dime today.
The judge doesn't understand the city laws.
I think she does.
Not
I think
at
she
all,
understands
not
the law very, very well.
She said, how do you have people?
Oh, she's talking about running from building to building.
She has no clue.
That has nothing to do with the amount that you're going to have to pay them.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
I think you got to go talk to your accountant because she was going to give them the money anyway.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You learned a lot. It's a bad day for you here.
I will talk to her, yes.
Okay, good enough.
Thank you.
That way. Mr. Fuentes, it's over. Yeah? You okay?
Well, didn't get everything I wanted.
I know, but I mean,
better than nothing.
you learned. I mean, you learned.
At least I got the deposit back, so that's
At
the only
least
thing
you
that
did,
matters.
after long last.
Exactly.
All right. Well, good for you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay.
Here's the thing, you don't have to pay rent prospectively, but if you've already paid rent, you can't get your money back. Congratulations. Enjoy the strippers.